Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Culture Shock, and it's getting pretty nasty out there, folks. 100%. So now the mass censorship is begun. People are starting to flee Twitter in hopes of finding a new world, which is in the illustrious Parler. Now, I have a Parler account, and if you want, you can go ahead and follow me. A lot of people started last night fleeing Twitter because Donald Trump was officially suspended off Twitter. He's no longer able to tweet anymore. Permanently gone. Poof. Now, I I can't even put into words how messed up that is because now you are allowing big tech, Facebook, social media, Twitter, all these powers that be tell you what you should and what you can and cannot say, see, and do. If you're okay with that, I'm not okay with that. Shit, I wasn't okay with my mom telling me what to do. No one's okay with a complete stranger telling us that you can't see, you can't say certain things on social media platforms and getting kicked off. You think that's right? No, it's not. So as a result, people are starting to just kind of flee Twitter and go over to this new website, new social media app called Parler, which is actually pretty good. It's a free speech website. They don't have any policies, and actually, it is actually a bipartisan social media platform. It is not just for conservatives. It's for everybody. Everybody can go in there and say what they want. But as of last night, Google Play has removed the app from their store, and Apple isn't too far behind. So now just to kind of sum it all up and put it in perspective for you guys. Twitter, Facebook, these places don't allow certain things to be said. They have rules in place that say you can't say anything that's going to violate our terms and policies. So people leave to go to another platform that would allow them to say whatever it is they want to say, which you're within your right to do and say whatever it is you want to do on those platforms. Now, Google and Apple are saying, no, no, we don't want that. Sorry. We're gonna take the app off of our stores and you can't do it. So I don't know. When I was a kid and my sister had her friends over, my mom told me to leave those girls alone. You know what I didn't do was go burn down the fucking room that they were in. Fucking mind your business. We're gonna get into all this in a bit, but before we get started, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel, guys. You guys, if you're on my Parler account, you don't even have to go to my YouTube channel anymore. You can just watch this video stream on my Parler account. So this is where it's going to be going from now on. I still have my Twitter account, but I'm not going to be using it as much. I'm going to be on Parler. I'm just going to be testing the limits on Twitter until I finally get kicked off Twitter. So yes, my Twitter account is still active, but it probably won't be for long. I'm done with Facebook. I still have my Instagram. I don't think I'm gonna keep that much longer. But Parler, follow me on Parler. Same thing. Will at Heroic Studios. I have the same profile picture and everything. Catch this episode on a podcast. My podcast, Culture Shock, The Red Conservative. Listen to it, enjoy it. I worked really hard on that podcast. And before we go further, of course, tomorrow, January 10th, my manga, Ultima the Legend Untold, will be launching with its first full chapter on Webtoon. So please be able to check that out. The link is in the description. And of course, subscribe to the Webtoons page. And I do hope you guys do enjoy that little slice of good storytelling, conservative content. If you're a conservative content creator, I commend you. Support conservative content creators. We're trying to take back our culture, so please keep that in mind. All right, so what's going on? Well, I just told you what's going on. People are fleeing these social media platforms because they don't like being told what they can and cannot say. That is the First Amendment right. You may not like what I say. You may not like what someone else says. I don't like what you say. That doesn't mean that I have the right to tell you what you can and cannot say. When I was a kid, if you didn't like something being said, you simply left the room. You went somewhere else. You went to a place to where you didn't have to deal with that nonsense. Now, yeah, social media is a place where everybody can say what they want whenever they want. And if you don't like it, put your fucking phone down. Go read a book. Go watch a movie. Go do something else. You don't have to occupy your time on a platform in which you are not comfortable with what other people are saying. It sounds okay to me. Like You don't need to have this fucking device in your phone, in your face 24/7. You don't even have to have it in the same room. Fuck, you don't even have to have it in your house. Leave it in your fucking car. Who cares? Get a landline. You know, if you don't you don't understand what kind of nuance of oppression that is, saying being told what you can and can't say. That's not right. That's not right at all. So now Google has completely taken Parler off of their app store. So now you can't even get the app. I was able to get the app. So if you go ahead and just turn off app permissions on your phone and go ahead and download the APK and get a APK installer installed on your phone, it'll just download the app. So that's what I did. You guys can still get the app. Go for it, dude. Don't fucking let Google or Apple or whatever the fuck it is keep you from doing what it is you need to do, because these tech companies, no one put them in charge to tell us what we can and can't see. Just like back in what was it, October, when the Hunter Biden story came off, and the New York Post wrote an article explaining everything, and Twitter and Facebook said, nope, you can't see this, we're taking it off. They banned the New York Post, which is kind of ironic because it is a I don't know if it's left wing bias or not, but they are a major news source, and they were banned off Twitter. And I don't even think they're back on Twitter because they were told they had to remove the article. And now you see now is that the whole Hunter Biden thing is hitting the fan. So no, you can't see certain things. No, you can't say certain things. Who are these people to tell us what we can and cannot say or see or do? I don't understand who put these people in charge. It's their platform, sure, I understand, but they don't have to moderate it. You can say whatever you want. Go ahead. Say whatever you want. You don't have to like it. If you want to say racist things, say racist things. I don't have to listen to it. It's simple. It's that simple. But we're not even going to go into that part, because how long have the Democrats have been inciting violence? They've been inciting violence against Trump supporters for 4 years. Remember when Maxine Waters said this?
If we can't protect the children, we can't protect anybody. If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome. The people are going to turn on them. They're going to protest. They're going to absolutely harass them until they decide that they're going to tell the president, no, I can't hang with you.
Not in D.C. Not in the U.S. Not in D.C. Not in the U.S. Not in D.C. Not in the U.S.
Our issue is strong borders, no crime. Their issue is open borders. Let MS-13 all over our country. That's what's going to happen if you listen to them.
I remember it clearly. I remember it 100% clearly. Or what about when Kamala Harris says, do not let up on the protests? Because she said it here.
For a few weeks.
That's right. But they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. And they're not, this is a movement, I'm telling you. They're not going to stop. And everyone beware, because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels. That this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
So what is anybody doing about this? Are they barring these people from their platforms? No, they're giving them full on interviews and stories and opportunities to express their opinions, which is fine, which is what's supposed to have been done. But I'm sorry, I'm not blaming the protests on Kamala Harris. I'm not blaming the protests on any Democrats. Those people who had those protests going down in the summer, those were done as a response to a community need. Now, they should have just been protests. You know, you have your right to protest. You have your right to express a dislike in which you do not like. You do not have the right to go and burn shit down. So now everything is all culminating from this whole attack on the Capitol that happened Wednesday, and people are trying to tie that to Donald Trump saying go burn down the Capitol. He didn't say anything like that. He didn't say anything like that. Yeah, his speech on calming people down could have been better, sure, but I mean, going forward, it shouldn't have been. Everything is tied to Orange Man. I'm just gonna say that. I think the dude should have just shut his mouth for once because anything this dude says, he's not even. He's only president for like what, another week and a half, and they're trying to impeach him. Like, dude, just fucking wait a week and a half. Like, he's out of office. He's gonna be gone. But see, people can't let up on that. People can't let up on that because imagine blaming all of your problems on one dude and not taking any kind of personal responsibility here. The attack on the Capitol, those people who went in there and did what they did, listen, it wasn't compared to what happened over the summer. California, Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, Minneapolis, Kenosha, all those cities burned to the ground. They burned. There was no kind of fire or anything happening at the Capitol. People were killed, yes. I think it was 5 people that were killed. One lady lost her life. But compared to the hundreds of people who lost their lives in those riots during the summer, again, I'm not drawing any type of one riot is better than the other distinction or anything like that. Any type of riot or unrest, civil unrest is bad. I don't approve of it. I don't condone it. It shouldn't have happened. But to say that, this one on Wednesday is a lot worse than what happened over the summer, like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of you. People instigated those riots. You told those people not to let up, and that's exactly what they did. So, where's big tech censorship on that, huh? Where's big tech to tell them, hey, Senator Harris, you can't say that. You can't do any of that. Twitter doesn't even regulate the loads of fucking kitty porn that goes through their website. There's actual kitty porn on Twitter, and I get suspended for calling AOC a commie bitch. What? Come on. Come on. Okay, this isn't an attack on not just free speech. It's an attack because these people want a one-party system Democrats. They want us to comply with what they're trying to do, and it's not okay. I'm not going to take it. A lot of people aren't going to take it. I'll be the first one in the re-education camp, and I'll be the one to die there because I am not going to sit here and be told what to do by people who don't even have a moral compass of their own. These people want the government to sit there and tell them what's right and what's wrong when the government doesn't have a moral compass of its own. These people are not in your best interests. Government should not be telling us what to do. The government was put in place for us to protect our rights for ourselves and for each other, and for the government not to impose on our rights at any time. That's what the Second Amendment for. The Second Amendment is for just in case the first one does not work out. And right now, it is not working out. So I can't even. I got a pretty good idea of what's coming next, folks. I got a pretty good idea of what's in store for the next fucking 4 years. All right. They're going to tell us to shut up. People aren't going to take that. Listen, when you call people racist, bigots, homophobes for 4 years, yeah, I don't care if you call me that. I don't fucking care. Like, call me what you want. I don't care. Words don't hurt me. But other people don't think like me. Other people are more concerned that you're backing them into a corner, and at some point that dog is going to fucking bite. And I'm just going to sit there and say, I told you so. People don't like to be treated like shit. People like to be left alone. That's what our forefathers created the government for. They said we're going to put the government in place so people can have their rights protected, so that other people can have their rights protected. And government in no way, shape, or form is supposed to impose on those rights. And right now, we're already seeing that they're imposing on the First Amendment right of free speech. So where do we go from here, folks? Where do we go? They're going to keep on going. They're going to keep on attacking because I hate to say it and I cringe every time, but the Democrats have all the power. They're going to do whatever it takes to silence conservatives. And I say we need to fight back, not violently. We need to fight back with our words, with our wits, and get back into the culture of creating content for people to just simply enjoy it. Because I'm not in a game of creating fucking politics in my books and my comics. I don't want to do that. I deal with that shit 24/7 every day. We all deal with it. How fun will it be to just sit back one day, read a book that has no type of political leaning bias in it? That's my goal. as a content creator. And I guess that's what's called a conservative content creator, because we want to focus on story. We want to focus on, people doing good things in the story, good villains, good plot progressions and stuff like that. But this is where we are. This is where we're at. And we're not even a month into 2021 and shit is getting wild. But I've already ranted on for too long, guys. I was going to go into an article by the Washington Post, but I'm not. But you guys can go ahead and check out that in the description. Read it about Parler being taken off Google and what's actually next for the platform. There's still hundreds of millions of people leaving big tech social media like Twitter and Facebook, and they're going over to Parler, which let them enjoy what they like to enjoy. If you don't like what they're saying, don't fucking worry about it. It's none of your business. They're not inciting violence, because if this is inciting violence, going over to another platform and saying that, I don't know, you want to burn down the White House, it is what it is. Like, it's a different story if you actually follow through and try to fucking burn down the White House. All right. So I'm going to end this video with a segment from one of the Parler executives on Tucker Carlson. I think it was last night. So go ahead and enjoy it and tell me what you think. And if you haven't followed me on Parler, follow me, Will at Heroic Studios. You'll find this video on there. And give me a like, give me a subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get this going. And I'm doing a lot more videos for you guys, because I can't sit back and not do anything watching this shit happen. It's not okay. All right, guys, I will catch you guys later. Enjoy your weekend, and please, please, please try not to start a civil war. All right? We'll let Heroic Studios over and out.
So this is coming from everywhere all of a sudden, and we're going to unpack what we know at this hour. But we do know that over the last 24 hours, Twitter specifically has banned a number of different conservative accounts, not just the president. At the same time, the Chinese Communist Party, the Ayatollah of Iran, still have their accounts because they're not a threat to the ruling party here. Tonight, a competing social media service, Parler, which we told you about, is seeing massive and unprecedented surge in traffic. The site even experienced server outage because of new users tonight. Why? A couple of reasons. Mostly this: Parler is a free speech alternative to Twitter. They don't censor you. You can say what you want. The president is on Parler, and that has drawn a lot of people who realize they are being suppressed by Twitter. Parler's succeeding. What happens now? Of course, Silicon Valley is trying to kill it. Google has just removed Parler without any warning from its App Store. Apple and Amazon, which provide services that keep services like Parler online, have also threatened to shut Parler down. Amy Peikoff is the chief policy advisor at Parler, and she joins us tonight. Amy, thanks so much for coming on. This seemed to come out of nowhere. How big a threat to your company is this?
I mean, this is very huge because Apple in particular carries our app on the App Store, and as far as I know, technically there's no other way to deliver it. So if they choose to withdraw their services and hosting us on their store, we're toast there. And you know, most people like our app. Our app is a very nicely functioning piece of software. And then in terms of Amazon is also raising some problems, and I'm not sure how serious that is yet because I've yet to speak with them. I will later today. And they provide server for us, and if they were to remove their services, then we'd be down. As it is, we're having some difficulties now with the uptick in traffic, but if they took their service away, we'd be gone.
I mean, there's a huge amount. It's impossible to overstate the amount of filth and political extremism, explicit violence, pornography, whatever, on the internet. That's what the internet is. But
yes,
it's Parler.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
But it's Parler that is being singled out. I mean, it's kind of impossible not to conclude this is political repression.
It really, because I think we do have the reputation as being the conservative platform, although we are nonpartisan. That is what everybody sees us as. We do see this as being politically singled out. The other thing is that we are competing with other platforms who have decided that they want to surveil the people on their platform 24/7 without any particularized suspicion. And on the one hand, people don't like to live in the world of Orwell's 1984. And then on the other hand, a lot of people seem to want to pressure social media to do more to moderate, as they call it, content on their platforms. But that would require 24-hour surveillance, and we don't think that that is consistent with the principles of America.
So just to be clear for our viewers who aren't familiar with your company and your app,
Sure.
you're just trying to provide a place for people to say what they think. You're not trying to put Amazon out of business or dethrone Apple or force anybody else's carrier to drop their service. You just want to be left alone and do your thing. Am I mischaracterizing that?
Yes, I mean, we would just like to provide a place where people can come and they can speak freely, that they're not going to be fact-checked, they're not going to be told what to think, what they can read, et cetera. And also, we do not data pillage. We don't data mine them. We don't turn them into commodities and try to monetize them. And so we would just like to provide that service. And of course, like everybody else, we were horrified by a lot of the incitement that was going on this week, and we are doing everything that we can within our principles to, deal appropriately with that content. And we work with law enforcement as well. But that content has been everywhere this week. This has been a very unusual week, and to be singled out, we think, is quite unfair.
Well, I mean, it's political repression, period. Now,
Definitely.
Google, when we asked why they did this, and they sent a relatively long statement, we're just going to read a snippet of it to you on the air. We're aware of continued posting in the Parler app that seeks to incite ongoing violence in the U.S. It continues. In light of this ongoing and urgent public safety threat, we're suspending the app's listings from the Play Store until it addresses these issues. Okay, so they're accusing you of inciting violence.
They are putting on us the responsibility for every piece of incitement that is posted there. And the nature of an open platform, a free and open town square, is that we do not take action on people until we are aware of a situation.
Right.
It's particularized suspicion. You do
So
not
let me just ask you really
surveil.
quick. I mean, how much of the world's kiddie porn goes through Gmail? How many Gmail accounts have been used to order plastic explosives? How many insurrections have been planned on Google? Like a lot. And so,
Sure.
right? I mean, this is a completely arbitrary standard applied to you because they don't like the politics of the people who use your site.
I mean, that it's looking that way. I'm hoping it's not that way, but it's looking that way, and it's coming in sooner than I would have expected it.
Yeah. Well, it's all happening at once. This Friday night. It's happening all this Friday night. We're going to look back on this night. Amy Peikoff, I appreciate you coming on tonight.
Thank you, Tucker.